A little past 11, there were some people gathered. A guy named Charles Copa, I knew him. A person named Renee Powers, I knew her. And a lot more people I didn't know.
I'll stop and talk about that a little more later. How's that?
Good. What's your name?
Charles Copa.
Feeling Faith. Oh boy.
Good.
Faith is Faith has been at the hospital all morning, and she had, tell me what the doctor said. Do you work here?
What are you doing?
Well, I'm asking you a question first.
I'm asking you a question.
Well,
What are you doing?
We're taking a walk to the park. But
Okay,
do you work here?
but what are you involvement in front of the
Again,
building?
I don't know who you are, so I don't know you.
You do, because I work here. So what is
A
your...
lot of people work here, honey. That doesn't
What's
mean I
your
have to
name,
listen to you.
ma'am? Could we have a name?
Hi, honey.
Could we have a name? Could I ask you a few questions? We'd like to talk to you.
Yeah.
My name's Terry. Okay. Hey, William.
Hi.
Hey, you know what? I saw him coming out the back door calling for everybody to come out.
Yes.
Hey, who are you guys with?
I'm with On Second Thought Television.
Okay.
What's your name?
Is there a reason? No.
You're
But
Dave
is there a
Owen?
reason? Is there a reason you're in front of our building?
Yeah, I'm filming these people.
We're
Okay.
taking a walk to the park. Hi, Dave. My
Okay.
name's
The
Billy.
park is that way.
Yeah, well, we have a meeting place.
Okay.
May I shake your hand?
No, we're just curious. We thought you were
What,
trying to
do
film
you-
our building. This is our property, so we appreciate if you just stay on the public property.
Oh, we
Okay,
are.
well,
May
say-
I
can we
ask
ask you
the
some
front door,
questions?
No.
who's in charge here?
No, I'm in charge, but it
What is your title?
doesn't
I was
matter.
asking because I was confronted by one of your employees and she went a little rude to me, and I'm just asking. She wanted to know what we were doing. I said, we're
Okay.
taking a
Well,
walk.
Well, look, she has every right. Anybody can
But I
come
have
see
a
it
right,
now.
too, to ask who she is.
And then we can deny that, and then
So-
everybody is on the same
So are you
page.
an attorney?
Yeah, I'm an attorney.
You are? Are you also an attorney? So you're an attorney. What is your name?
I don't have to give you my name, but I
Okay,
can
well,
ask
I'm
you
gonna
not to
give
be
you
on
mine.
it.
I'm going to give you mine.
But I'm going to
Please
ask
don't
you.
get on our property.
Yeah.
Well, we're not on your property. We're all on
We're
public.
before.
We're all on
Okay.
public property. We were just, you know, we have old women sitting by our picture. My name's Billy.
It's not a
Nice to meet you. And your name again is?
I'm not going to say. I don't need to give
But
you
you're an
my name.
attorney with McCarthy and Holmes.
I am, yes.
Thank you.
And is this a foreclosure mill? Are you foreclosed on? Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm on
It's-
public property.
It's
I'm on pub. No, I'm not sure.
it's a law firm, but you do need my consent to be
No.
videotaped.
No, I don't. Not on
No,
public property. You don't.
Yeah. Well, now you do. So what are we doing now?
Okay, shall we do it?
You need my consent. Do you have a
Shall we
waiver
take-
for me to sign?
Shall we take our walk?
Actually, I do. You want to come over and sign it and give me your official ID?
I would like you to leave.
I'm not going to sign
I'm
on
gonna
that.
Well, we're all going.
I'll get it. I'll get it out of
nicely to not record our property. If you want to record the sidewalk, by all means.
Are
walk
you-
People
around.
want to know where these illegal foreclosures are coming from. Not a foreclosure.
We're dealing. You know what we're dealing with?
Okay.
We're dealing with the recording of private
Okay,
property.
well, what we would
We're
like
not
to
dealing
do.
with anything
Okay, so
that
what
has to
we'd
do
like
with
to ask is,
foreclosures or
why
jails
are
or
you
anything
recording
else.
false documentation? Because all of us here have had our homes stolen by fraud involving McCarthy and Holmes.
We're not going to speak with you guys.
But you do the documentation, so we have the attorney on record now saying that that you guys deal with the recording document.
No, I did not say that at all. You have record of me saying I didn't say that.
What did you say? I want to be
Nothing.
clear.
I didn't say anything.
Wait.
So we're dealing with the recording of private
Okay.
property. No, we're trying to work. We're dealing with the recording of private
Okay.
property. No, we're trying to work.
Have the attorney.
I would like for you guys to
I think we're done here.
So if you guys are on
Okay,
our
well, we
property,
didn't approach you, you approached us, and we're taking a walk.
We
Well,
only
step back
approached you to
on the
ask you to
grass like we're over there on
get
our
off of our
property.
property.
we're off your property.
Thank you.
We just have the older women sitting and enjoying.
It's not a seat, so please stay off of our property.
Would you like to invite them in for coffee and discuss some
No, I
things?
would not. Turn off the
What's his
camera.
name?
Turn off the camera.
No, I won't. I'm on public property. No, you can't order me. I'm on
Hold on,
public
please.
property.
Okay, well, thank
Could you invite these people in and have coffee and discuss what's happened to
No, we're trying to
them?
work. You're disrupting our workday. Why would I invite you guys in and
These are
disrupt our
the
workday?
people. These are the
Look,
people
I
you're
would like you
working
guys. Look,
against.
enjoy the park. Have a good rest of your day. All right, just for your record and for your record, whoever else is doing, nobody said anything and nobody agrees to anything. This nice lady said, just we have that on the record, right? You guys have a good rest of your day. And for one last thing, sir, let me finish. One last. I'm trying to leave. I'm not being competition. So one last time, please just stay off the grass. All right. Enjoy the sidewalk in the streets of the park. Stop standing home. Stop standing home.
Please quit stealing homes! Please quit stealing homes! Please quit stealing homes!
Yeah, lock them up.
He didn't agree, but he did deny, and we didn't confront them, they confronted us. He did not deny. So let's take a walk around the corner and find our way back here. That was very interesting. All we did was stand on public land, and they came out. That was very interesting. All we did was stand on public land, and they came out, and their first girl wouldn't identify herself, but she wanted to know what we were doing. We don't have to tell people what we're doing. We're on public property. They came out, asked us to stay off their property, and confronted us, and told us that you couldn't film them, which is not true. You can film anybody standing in public. So he backed up onto their property, but he wouldn't tell us who he was, so how do we know who he is and that he's saying the truth? He said he was a lawyer and that he was going to call the police. Well, fine. We're not doing anything wrong. All we want to know is why are they stealing homes? And he did say this is where they create the documents. That's what he said. This is where they create the documents.
Have you ever known an attorney who didn't want to give you his name and business card?
Came out and told us we couldn't be here, but he didn't want to tell us who he was. And the girl that came out originally, did you see how they're dressed so unprofessionally? This is what's sad, is they hire people who really don't know what they're doing. And that girl comes out and tells me I have to tell her who I am and what we're doing. What, is she an attorney too? Because she really was very rude. You know, and we're out here having a walk. We're just walking.
She didn't even offer you a cup of coffee.
No, and we would have, you know what, we would have sat down with them. We weren't unpeaceful. They came out confrontational.
They were
They
pretty
were very
confrontational.
confrontational. They were very defensive and confrontational. And all we were doing is standing out here. So we didn't go to them, they came to us. Isn't that interesting?
It is
we didn't even
interesting.
get to, isn't that interesting?
It
we
is
didn't even get to knock on the door.
There goes justice flying away.
We also have other veteran programs that we have going, and the whole idea is to peacefully cross all racial, religious, and democratic, republic, all lines of politics, and say it's time to end these crimes against the people.
Hi, I'm Billy Renee Francis Lillian Powers. I have a case ongoing in an appeal called Powers versus the Bank of New York Mellon et al. It also is the foundation with interested parties and hundreds of participants for the qui tam known as Beshears versus the United States at Washington, D.C. Courts of Claim. What we have had happen is whistleblowers coming out of the woodwork to help us with the case. I have a whistleblower who heard we were going to McCarthy and Holthus. And today, we have that whistleblower with us. And what this whistleblower has to say is monumental to all of we homeowners who have said all along, these documents are being created to give an appearance of clear title when in fact none existed and there's no standing to take our homes. I want to thank William Wagener for coming all the way down and participating and being here to film this. Thank you so much, and thank you to this whistleblower and to all others involved in this case. We have a case for 67 million dispossessed homeowners, thanks to people like this whistleblower today.
So, what's your first point? You're the whistleblower, and I appreciate it, what you're doing.
While working at McCarthy Holtis, it was my job to create a chain of title when one did not exist. If documents were missing, we were told to add random documents to make it appear as though there was a chain of title. The longer I worked there, I began reading case law, and I found that what I was doing, I believed to be illegal. But I was under such stress with having to place my quotas and keep my job.
What was your quota daily?
8 to 12 motions a day.
A day you were supposed to do 8 to 12 motions per day?
That was my quota, and I was told if I wasn't able to get up to speed, then I would lose my job.
You didn't have much time to think about what you were doing, did you?
No.
Grab something from somebody else's motion, put it to something that has nothing to do with the situs of the property you're dealing with.
Correct.
Do I understand that?
You understand that correctly, yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted.
That's okay, and we never actually had original documents in our possession, so really we didn't know whether or not whether the documents we were dealing with were full and complete and legal. We never saw originals of any document.
You never touched the original wet ink copy of anything?
Correct.
Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. So as I learned more of what I was doing, I felt that McCarthy Holtis was using their employees to unduly enrich the banks to get back their properties. They would have someone pay on it for a few years. When they couldn't do it anymore, they'd foreclose on it and sell it again, and over again.
Was there ever any intent to help them remortgage and get a new loan?
No. We were told on multiple occasions to deny all first loan mods.
Do you remember who specifically told you that?
It was in a video conference with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac executives.
With Fannie Mae in a conference call?
Yes.
And Fannie Mae was where, on the West Coast or on the East Coast?
It was a video conference. Sorry.
Wow. But you don't remember the specific person in that video telling you to deny all first
loan mods.
Wow. Go ahead, I'm sure I interrupted you.
And that's precisely why they picked the employees they did, is no legal experience. If you could run a computer, you could work there. That was the only requirement.
If you could run a computer. So somebody that didn't even finish high school could work there?
Yes, to my knowledge.
So when you were hired, did they say, do you have a college degree? They just want to know if you could run a computer?
Correct.
That was the only standard?
Yes.
Wow. Did they give you any training on running their computers?
We were given extensive training on their computers and their systems, specific to them. But we were never instructed that it was improper to attach allonges to notes that weren't part of the original document.
Wow. And while you were there, did they tell you to dress nice or?
No. In fact, we were told just the opposite. Don't dress like lawyers or anything like that. Dress like regular people on the street. So
like you might be going to the beach to hang out for a while.
Exactly.
Wow.
So we wouldn't
I
be
think we saw that today. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
That was pretty much my points.
So the chain of titles are fraudulent?
I believe so. In
your belief?
In my belief.
From what you were grabbing from different people's files and just podging them together.
What I was doing from different sources of digitized documents, mainly MERS, they were coming from all different
And so you had access to MERS?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes.
Did you have a security code or anything to get into MERS?
everyone had passwords to get onto the systems. You had different passwords for different systems.
So people could get into MERS who didn't even have a high school education, had no paralegal training,
Correct.
did not know that they were doing is help commit a felony?
Correct. I didn't realize until after I actually read law and I read the DOJ settlement.
Did you do that on your own time?
No.
You did that at work?
Yeah, we were encouraged to read case law.
You were encouraged to read case law.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like learning as you commit the fraud, but you gotten used to doing your part of creating fraudulent documents while you're learning the law? Do I understand that right?
Yes.
And you've got to put out a minimum of 8 motions a day or lose your job?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes, I'm very sure. It caused me so much stress.
Okay, go ahead. I interrupted you. Finish reading what you wanted to say.
The quotas just were so, for me personally, were so difficult to obtain that it caused me health problems and, mental anguish.
Yeah. So you had personal damages from doing this. Was you recognizing the homeowners were also having personal damages?
Oh, yes.
Wow. Do you think Congress has an obligation to do something about this?
Yes.
How about the state legislature? Because we're in the state of California.
Yes, we do. And whether the banks like it or not, the law should be followed, not what is beneficial for the bank. It's the law. And when notes and deeds of trust are voided or mishandled, the law should prevail, not what's beneficial to the bank or what's easy for the judge.
Did anybody ever tell you while you were at work that don't worry about this little issue or don't worry about that because the judge that may hear this has stock in the bank? Did anybody ever say that?
I wasn't privy to
You didn't hear that?
No.
Did it ever occur to you this might end up in front of a judge, but don't worry about it?
Towards the end of my time there, I was concerned that my paperwork would go before a judge and be questioned.
And you were using your own name or someone else's name when you put these documents together?
I don't know. That's just it. I don't know whether my name is connected with any of the paperwork that was in. On their systems, it should be, but once it went to the attorney, it should not have been. My name should not have been connected with the
Some
documents.
attorney should have put their name on.
Correct.
So the attorney gets a document that's been rammed together, he stamps his name on it, and your name shouldn't have even appeared. So no one would ever know
Right.
that this attorney doesn't even know what he's bringing into court.
Correct.
That explains why they look so stupid sometimes when Cindy Brown and others and Sherry Moody question them in front of the judge. That explains a lot. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing this interview. Is there anything else you want to say for this clip?
Just that I hope that I can help in some way, someone getting their home back.
I think you just did. I think you just helped a lot. I wish there were more whistleblowers like you, and we'll protect your identity until Congress subpoenas you to testify. I thank you very much on behalf of you and Billy Renee Powers and Faith Brashear and Sherry Moody and literally millions of homeowners that have become homeless people because of what you just described. And it's amazing to me because I rarely get to hear somebody like you from the inside of that building. They wouldn't let us in. I offered to ask them, can we come in and have coffee and sit down and talk? And no, they were not having it. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. And I thank you people at home and on YouTube for watching. You need to call your congressman. And see that something gets done. Call your state assemblyman, who you probably don't even know, or your state senator and say, this needs to stop. We need to fix this now. And some judges that have colluded, whether they're federal or state, need to be held accountable, i.e. prison time, for cooperating with crooked documents. On the face of them, they don't make sense. Anyway, that's my opinion. I'm just William Wagener for On Second Thought. Thanks for tuning in. Back to the studio. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a whistleblower. It's really a big deal. Do I have your permission to put this on television, YouTube, and other media? Yeah.